Hello, Sims 4 fans and fellow Simmers. Welcome back to the channel. This is MJ. And today we're going to get into a build tour of mine from my Memory Lane series. So, let's hop in. Alright, so currently I'm in build mode and I am in the neighborhood of well, actually I don't know what the name of this neighborhood is. But this is in the world of Ciudad Enamorada. And it's the neighborhood with the local bar plus the motel object. I really love that for gameplay. It's really fun. But anyway, in the back of all that stuff is this cute little nook over here of this row of homes that are mission style. So I really thought that these were gorgeous and adorable. So the reason I bring you here to this tour today is because, of course, with my Memory Lane series, if you guys are new to it, I have this series ongoing on my channel in which I share with you all of my old builds. And, you know, I talk about the journey behind them and a little bit about the lore. So this is part of that series. So this is an old build of mine from some years ago. And I made this for my Torres family. So the Torres is a Spanish family from Salvadorada, which came with the Jungle Adventure game pack, and they'd been in my game for years, and for years I'd been making them homes that were similar to this, that were mission style. And so when Lovestruck came out and we get this whole neighborhood of other mission style homes, I thought to myself, this will be perfect for my Torres family. So voila, that's how I came out with a baby right here of a blend of all these shells mixed together. I wanted it to be nestled right into the neighborhood to look like it belonged, and that's what I did. So yeah, I feel like you guys who like this neighborhood as well, who are fans of the Lovestruck pack, who love the world and the architecture, you would enjoy a house like this. So yeah, let's get into the actual tour. So because my Torres family are gardening themed, a lot of their gameplay revolved around gardening. So I do have a sales table at the front. It is a Salvadoradian table. And my matriarch, grandmother and mother of the family, her name is Flora, and she sells flowers here. So I thought this was very fitting to have. Now, also included with the house is this lovely porch area. Now, I made this porch here because obviously across the street the other homes have sort of porches and stoops like this, so for realism, but it's also just a good spot for the Sims to come out and just, you know, people watch. Juan, who's the grandfather and father patriarch of the family, he sits here with his wife and they just people watch and just enjoy the breeze. So I love that for them. It's also a good place to just knit and just make some, you know, little knitting items for the family members, especially the kids of the family. So very nice. Now through here we enter straight into the living room. So as you can tell, this is a very humble home. It's very realistic, and I love going for homey type of builds. You've probably noticed that already if you've seen my playlist on the channel for my Memory Lane builds. So again, if you're into storytelling and gameplay, I've got a ton of stuff and other builds just like this one. But yeah, check it out. Get into it. Of course, I wanted to have that Spanish influence in here, so I think I did just that with the colors that are around the house, plus my choices of, you know, adding the candles, the terracotta, as well as, you know, you have to have the walls and the flooring kind of add to the vibe of a, you know, traditional home that would be in this style. And get into it. We got beads on the wall, y'all. Like, this came with Lovestruck, and I thought they were beautiful, and I think they would, you know, frame arch windows so well. I couldn't help myself. I added them here, and I just love the way that they look. So yeah, this house is a moment. It's a vibe. And you know, this is the view that the family gets when they come in here and they sit down. They all sit in the living room and watch TV. This is a lot of like activity for the family to do in here. There's the reading, there's the game, they watch TV together. There's even the music player in the back over here. So it's a vibe. So I definitely love to see it. I love this sort of setup in a lot of homes. So yeah. Also, let's go into the kitchen. So, it's a humble home. It's a one-story home. It's not luxurious or none of that. It's just straight to the point. Now, again, a lot of my influences for Spanish style homes really come from bringing out the color. A lot of like Spanish style builds and like even from real life influences, they have a lot of color to them. At least the ones that aren't modern themed, they have a lot of color to them. So I try to bring that out. And yeah, I like this. I think this is beautiful. And you know what's so cool? Look at all these veggies here. I didn't put that there. The family did. The family did. So yeah, they are one of my favorite families, and so I had to make them a house that would fit them. Now this chair and table setup was inspired by yeah, seeing a lot of the videos that I had watched, even like the movies like Coco and Encanto. Like there's a lot of color in the family homes, so I love these chairs because they were just perfect for that. And they've been in the game for years. Like, so I've had this in the other versions of the Torres family house. And yeah, I had to bring him back when I made this build. So I thought it was perfect. So this is their dining spot. They sit, they chat, they catch up with each other. Love that. Got the sugar skulls on the wall. I really like this for gameplay. Now of course this is, for a holiday event. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but when it's not that day, you could just have your Sims get blessed. And I like that gameplay, so I keep it here. And I like how colorful they are, so they they just stay in the house on display. But yeah, I tried to bring out a traditional style when it comes to this sort of house. And yeah, it's not modern. It's very to the point. We got our counters here, which is all they need. Grandma, spends her days cooking. She loves to do that. They use their produce that they have from that garden, and they store it in their little fridge, their old style refrigerator, and they just get to going. So I love that for them. And then over here, we have an archway that leads to a hallway. So yeah, let's get into that. So this hallway has 4 different doors to different areas of the house. So let me take you through the first door. This is where the primary room is for Flora and Juan, again our grandparents who own the house. So yeah, this is their room. So let's take it in piece by piece. This is their little, entryway setup. They got these old style frames. I love these. I can't remember what pack in particular came with these frames, but I think it's gorgeous. And so I had to put them there. I'm not sure if it was Lovestruck that had these frames or if it was from the Sanctuary kit with Bellica. I can't remember, but it's so beautiful. And plus, again, we got that nod to Spanish culture. Love that. This is actually a base game table, but I loved it so much for its color. It kind of went with the vibe that I was going for in here. So yeah, I think that matched really well. And get into this little dog. I love this little dog because it reminds me of the dog from Coco. So I love that. I think it's so beautiful. Over here we have like this beautiful like feature of this bedroom. It's like a little area. You could put whatever you want in here. It's plenty of space. You could put a desk and computer if you wanted to. You could also just put, a crafting table if your Sims are into other things like jewelry or archaeology or apothecary. But my Sims, I just thought that this would be nice for a reading nook or just drinking coffee in the morning. I got an elderly couple, and I just thought, yeah, it'd be nice for them to have a little moment of chit-chatting here. So that was the inspiration behind this little area here. And then this is their bed. So very simple, very realistic, very to the point. They have their marriage certificate up on the wall over there. And Flora's knitting bag so she can knit something for her granddaughter. But yeah, this is so cute. Now again, they are a gardening themed family, so I knew I wanted an iron framed bed, but the sheets were just chef's kiss. Like it was just perfect to have this, black iron bed and then have this swatch on here. So I couldn't ask for anything better. We got the armoire over here where they can change clothes, and then we have this area. So this is their ensuite. It made sense for them to have a bathroom. Now, getting to the bathroom. It's very nice, and they get this luxurious walk-in shower. Now, you may be thinking, how do they afford this very nice walk-in shower? Look. It was the rest of the house is very basic, very average, but I mean, it was a new feature with Lovestruck at the time. We got this nice shower door. I couldn't help myself. I really wanted to use it. So there is no reason other than, Flora and Juan wanted to spoil themselves, and so they renovated this house to have, a nice luxurious bathroom. So they got the rainfall shower heads. It's a vibe. And they get two of them, so they each get their own. But yeah, I like that for them. And I went with the Jungle Adventure tiles. So the flooring and the wallpaper, the tile, all this is from Jungle Adventure. And I tend to use that pack when I'm making a Spanish style, mission style home. So yeah, I find it perfect for this purpose. But yeah, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous, and I like it. It's probably not a good view to have the toilet right in front of the door, but hey, we get the point across. But yeah, this is a very nice bathroom. Alright, so that is our primary and ensuite. Over here, we're going to go see the rest of the house. So, through this room, this is the shared restroom. So, the other family members, whether they're visiting or they are in the secondary rooms and they live here, they can use this restroom. Now, I've only put showers in the restrooms in this house. That's just a vibe that I was feeling at the time. I felt like I didn't see many tubs in the reference photos that I was using, but this is a big space, so it's very customizable. If you want to take the shower out and put a shower tub combo, you can. It'll fit just fine. So if you have an infant or a toddler or a pet, you'll be able to swap this out and easily have good access to a tub. All right, and then over here we got the two other bedrooms to the house. So over here, this is Catalina's room. So Catalina is the child sim of the household. She is the granddaughter of Juan and Flora, and yeah, this is her room. So she has a little desk where she can sit and do her homework. She too, has a little bed in here. Now again, this whole family is gardening themed. So, get into the sheets on the bed. I just think this was one of my favorite swatches from the high school years pack. And yeah, it just took making a sim that, would fit that theme that this bed would be perfect for. And yeah, I just aced it in here, so I love that. Now, Catalina is an artistic child sim, so she tends to craft a lot of things. So we have her decorations up on the wall. Now, you won't see this in the build if you download it. It's because I actually played in the house that these decorations are here. So if you download it, this will be blank, but yeah, you'll be able to customize it however you see fit. Now, Catalina does have a toy box for her toys and a armoire for her, clothing. Other than that, she has a little backpack. But yeah, this is very simple. She got nice, lighting coming in from her windows. It's a good size room. So even if you don't have a child sim, this will be perfect for a teenager, or, you can dump all this stuff out, put whatever you want in here. I just think it's a good size for whoever you have staying in this bedroom. So yeah, that is the room. All right, so moving on. This is the room of Antonia. So Antonia is Catalina's mother. So that child sim that we just toured her room of, okay, yeah. So she lives here. This is her mother's room. So Antonia is the grown adult. She is the daughter of Juan and Flora, who actually own the house, and she's staying here with her child Catalina, and just helping them out. Oh, well, honestly, she never got her own place, but yeah, that's another story. Anyway, this is her abode, her room, and it's very parent like. It's not too dressed up. It's just to the point. And she has a little reading nook in here, You know, you see her little clutter items there and a place for her clothes. So very simple and to the point. Now, that is basically all of the main floor. Now, you saw 3 bedrooms over here, and that's not it. There's also a basement here. Now, you can only get there from the outside, but a lot of houses are like that, and that's kind of realistic in a sense. But yeah, let me show you how to get there. And then we can tour the backyard while we're at it. So let me go show you guys. So here we have the actual backyard. So it's, kind of repeats the front minus the, archways. This is just a nice little porch area where Juan and Flora can watch over little Catalina as she's, playing in the yard. There's also a little picnic table here and a little grill so they can have family cookouts. I love that this yard comes with the fence. So as you can see, the property line ends here. When you place this lot down, that back there you can't touch. There's nothing literally there. I don't know why the Sims team just didn't give you it all, but hey, that was the decision. But anyway, I think it's nice. I think it's nice. I think it's beautiful. And what I mean when I say like the fence came with the yard, literally this whole thing, yeah, the whole neighborhood is encased by its own fencing. That you get this beautiful fence around each house, and so for this particular lot, they made sure to include it here. And I just lined up our little, stairwell with the back access. So I thought that was pretty cool and thoughtful of the Sims team. And yeah, I'm happy about that. I think it looks really nice. Now, again, this is a gardening themed family, so we had to have a garden. So we got this beautiful, stone terracotta, terrain paint, and it kind of like, I don't know, it's just a beautiful feature that I had not done before in any other build of mine. I love this little wraparound that I've done with this pathway, so it's very cute. It's to the point. It's I love it actually. But yeah, I'm still proud of this house to this day because I just think it's so cute. But basically, this is the garden here. Now, in my mind, Flora and Juan have a shop where they do, intense gardening and flower arranging. I just haven't built it yet. But in my mind, that's that's what this family has. But it's gorgeous. Actually, they do. I just didn't. I need to bulldoze it. Anyway, but yeah, this is just their home garden. And I think this is gorgeous. Antonia, their grown daughter, she works with the bees. So they are irritated right now. But hey, these are really good for help fertilizing the plants. So I love that. And then here is Flora's flower arranging table, at least her home one. And, if you guys download this lot, you'll get all this stuff. And this is a very fun activity. It's one of my favorite skill objects in the game. And plus, it's just fun to see the different variations of the, flower arrangements that you can get. Alrighty, and then let's go on down to the basement. Alright, so here we are down in the basement. And, yeah, as you can see, this is what it's looking like. I don't even have to be up close and personal. A basement is a basement. So, yeah. It is basically just an extra space for you to get into any other extracurricular activities you might want to get into. So for me and my family, I have the woodworking table because Juan might want to fix up some things. So it makes sense that he would work on his handiness skill. And then I feel like Antonia, who's, our, grown daughter who stays here, she is into the bees and whatnot, but she might want to move out sometime, and it makes sense that she might want to use what they produce to make fizzing. So I don't think it's been popping yet. She hasn't gotten a business off the ground, but I like this fizzing machine. I love crafting in The Sims. I think it's so much fun. But anyway, yeah, so that is basically the gist of what I'm using the basement for. Now, this is very versatile. There are shelves here, so I can, use that. If you're interested in using this, you can, take it as it is. But you can also just delete these objects. I'm in tab mode, so things tend to delete often. But yeah, if you don't want these objects here, it's a nice big space. You can put whatever here you want. But yeah, let me show you the other, what's behind these other doors. So I've got the water heater that comes with for rent, plus the fuse box. So I do this often in a lot of other regular residential homes. This is not a residential rental, it is a regular basic residential lot. And if you didn't know, if you have the for rent pack, I've said this before, you have the option to have a lot challenge where your fuse box can go out on you. You can have trouble with, your electricity throughout the house, your TV not working, with the water heater, if you have radiators around the house, or your sinks and all your plumbing can mess up. That's normal maintenance issues that happens with owning a house. And I just, I like that sort of gameplay, so I've included it here. But of course, if you don't like that, you can of course take that lot trade off or just delete these items. But if you're into that sort of fun, it is already set up for you. And then by this being a basement, I like to always add a downstairs bathroom. So if you're just down here, you don't have to, race upstairs to if you have to use the bathroom. So yeah, I just wanted to make a convenient place where Sims can go and, take care of themselves. And what's also handy about this bathroom is I did make a guest room downstairs. So not only do you get 3 bedrooms upstairs, I thought it would be very fitting. By my family being the Torres family, they're a big family in my save file. They have extended members in other worlds who have different themes and gameplay focused objectives. But yeah, it'd be nice for Juan and Flora to have their children come to stay and visit. So that's why we have a guest room here. But yeah, I really like the intention behind this. I think this is still one of my cutest houses that I've ever built. I love the gameplay here. And I love how cozy it is because it's not too big and it's not too small. It's just straight to the point. Now, before I leave you guys, let me show you guys the overview of the layout. So you could get inspired by this yourself or copy it if you want to, or, if you just enjoy checking it out like I do. Here's the layout for the basement. Very simple and to the point. And then as far as upstairs, again, we have this little wraparound. Love that, which leads you straight into the actual house. So it's a 3-bedroom house plus the extra bedroom in the basement. But yes, very spacious, very to the point. I like it. It's very cozy indeed. So yeah, again, this is what it's looking like outside. So I think I did that. I think I ate with this. Anyway, if you are interested in this lot, this is called Casa Torres Enamorada. Of course, this name was influenced by the Torres family in my save file and the world of Ciudad Enamorada. So yeah, it's simple to remember for me. That's why I named it that. But yeah, for those of you who are interested, it is a 30 by 20 lot. And like always, it is on the gallery under my gallery ID MarshaTech12. Now I have plenty of other builds here that are gameplay and storytelling focused because I make builds for gameplay and storytelling in mind. So I just recently did a library castle. I've done some rec centers, pool lots, playgrounds, mansions, all of that good stuff. So go check me out if you are interested. Now also, this build in particular is part of my ongoing series on the channel. So I do have a playlist of other builds that are in my memory lane series, so go check out my memory lane playlist if you are interested in other builds that are homey like this, or older retro, or just family style homes. I have plenty. But anyway, that is it for the tour, you guys. I had a blast showing you guys this. I always enjoy doing this. But yeah, go check out the playlist if you are interested. And thank you guys for stopping by and touring the house with me. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. So thanks for checking it out, and bye.